welcome back to SharTV. Now, it's been years since I put up a video on this channel, but a few weeks ago I ended up on this channel, which I haven't actually looked at in a very long time, and I noticed that I got quite a few amount of views on one of my recipe vlogs. So I said, Shar, why don't you put up more videos? The people want what the people want. So I'm going to give you guys more of what you want, even though this clearly isn't a recipe video. But I've been wanting to do a YouTube channel for a long time, and that kind of motivated me to start again. So I'll catch you guys up on what's been happening in my life. So since I put up a video last, which was like 2014, I think, now we're 2018, I have been living in Lima, Peru for the last few years, and I'm not a Beachbody coach anymore. I still do yoga. I should put up probably a new yoga video at some point. My gel manicure is coming off. Cool. But yeah, so maybe I'll do a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of whatever. But the motivation for this specific video today is the fact, well, let me backtrack. Today is September 27th. And for the last few weeks, America has been having to endure the hearings of Brett Kavanaugh, which was Trump's Supreme Court pick. And the last time I was watching the hearings, which was about 2 weeks ago, they were talking about how just bad he is, just how corrupt he is, how bad he's been at his job. And recently there have been more There's been more surfacing just about him as a person, and I think 4 or 5 women have come forward saying that they were assaulted by him in high school. And today, one of the victims, Dr. Ford, was, I'm getting like goosebumps, fuck. Dr. Ford, one of the victims, came forward and was put on the stand to sort of give her version of what happened. And pretty much all these women are saying that Brett Kavanaugh, with some of his friends from high school, used to take advantage of women at parties and drug them and rape them and have gang rape parties with them. Sorry. This is so much to talk about. And of course, every man, at least from what I've seen, Republican conservative men are attacking the victims and attacking their credibility, or saying that Brett Kavanaugh, like, they're pulling these ridiculous things out of nowhere, and they're saying, oh, well, let's check his calendar because his calendar is relevant, because, you know, we all know that rapists strictly go by calendars, and they always write down when they've committed their crimes. So it's really important to have his calendar as evidence. They're also saying that, no, Brett Kavanaugh was a virgin back then, and he was a virgin well into college. As if, 1, that means anything, and 2, that means anything. It doesn't. What else are they saying? They're saying that it's been a long time, we shouldn't judge him for what he did back then because he's a changed man if this did happen, and we should, you know, he was a boy back then and now he's a man. Well, you know who else wasn't a boy? I'm sorry. You know who else was a boy? Trayvon Martin, Emmett Till. All of these men that get gunned down for wearing hoodies, for looking suspicious, for having toy guns, who are actually boys. Literally 7-year-olds getting shot for having toy guns at a playground. They're all of a sudden men, but these judges who are in charge of every law, of passing every law that will defend women and minorities, who cares what they did when they're 18? You know, whatever, let's just get over that, get over it. And, you know, I've never from what I can remember, because maybe I have repressed memories or something, but I've never been sexually assaulted. I do feel like I, on the day-to-day basis, and probably most women would agree, have to deal with this train of thought that like women are asking to be violated. For example, I can't really walk down the street without feeling like everyone's looking at me. And of course, I live in Peru, but the same went when I lived in the United States. I mean, I remember going out to run once in my old neighborhood and getting catcalled by some fucking truck driving by me. And so really, though I've never been sexually assaulted, thank God, like I feel lucky because I feel like it's such a common thing. I know that it's so common, and I know that most women are standing by and watching as the government literally says, I don't give a fuck about you. Because the president and all of the people that pretend that they give a shit about him or that they like him because I don't know what he does to them financially or why they're so gung-ho about him. The president and everyone behind him and everyone who really controls all these laws are pretty much saying, we don't care about you. We're going to confirm a judge for the entirety of his life. Like, these goosebumps are not stopping. When Brett Kavanaugh gets confirmed, which I'm sure will happen despite all of the evidence against him, he will be able to sit in that seat for the rest of his life, which means he will impact the lives of billions of people. He has the power to overturn Roe v. Wade, to overturn everything that we have fought for as progressives. And that is scary as fuck. And the fact that he has the power to do all those things, and he has credible sources saying that he's violated them physically, sexually, everything, is appalling. The fact that it's even a question, like, but then again, you think, well, a few months before Donald Trump was elected president of the United States, the tapes came out about him saying that he fucking touched the pussy or whatever he said. America doesn't care about women and about what we have to go through and the fear that we have to live with constantly walking down the streets. And that's really the sad fact. And you guys in comments can go ahead and be like, she's a feminazi because it's not true that all of America, like, I'm generalizing because that's what the face of the government presents as their beliefs. Therefore, it is America. And it is America that backs up these people, that allows them to be in positions of power, that allows them to attack victims. And it's just, I'm like, I felt like I needed to make this video today because it's a very important day, because I see all over Facebook people posting about their traumas and how, you know, you have to be, you have to listen to the victims. And I saw a meme that was pretty accurate that said, I don't think it's about believing the victims for these men, it's about caring about the victims. Because how many women have to come forward? And the fact that they're victim blaming, saying, why didn't this get reported 30 years ago? What the fuck would have happened 30 years ago? Nothing. It is proven time and time again that justice is not on the side of the victim, ever. Like, very small percentage of people get justice for the crime that they've had to endure. So why would an 18, 16, 15, 13, however old they were, year-old woman, girl, really, come forward and say something, especially in the 80s when somehow things were worse. I can't really imagine that happening, but I didn't grow up in that time, so I don't know, but somehow things were worse and women were more silenced in the 80s. So the question of why wouldn't she come forward and say something is fucking disgusting. And I don't know, I'm just livid over it, and I've been sitting here trying to work all day and I've gotten some things done, but like really I've just been so disgusted, and I haven't been able to really watch the videos of the confirmation hearing or anything, but I've been seeing people post about it, and it's not looking good. And I don't know what the point of this video is other than for me to get out what I've been feeling all day and all week and all year and all life. But I guess the point is that to the victims of sexual assault, and I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry that we all have to live in this world that is so dark and put up with questions that shouldn't be asked. The wrong questions are being asked, you know, and victims are blamed instead of stood up for. And I'm sorry that this man will likely be put in the position to change all of our lives for the worst. And I'm sorry that I don't know, why am I apologizing for things I have no control of? I don't know, but I don't know what to say anymore. Or other than we have to just keep being loud, keep talking about it, keep making it not okay, teach our kids to do better, speak up, and if you don't want to speak up, talk to someone else. Get it out. It's not good to keep all these things inside, which is why I'm doing this, really, because I just feel like I need to talk it out. And I don't know, I think it's going to be a domino effect of things happening. I'm sure once Kava NAH gets confirmed, hopefully not, but if he does, sure there's going to be a lot of protests, so we have to really stick together and make sure that we do whatever part we can in making sure this doesn't happen. You know, elections are right now basically, so we have to all vote, all of us who can vote, go out and vote. I know it's really easy to get stuck in that mentality of, oh, my vote doesn't count, I'm just one person, and people are going to be elected anyway, but I think these, aside from the presidential election, these smaller elections are really important because you can, supposedly, I think, count on local government, or at least your state government, to do things for you that the fucking executive branch won't, because they don't give a fuck. So I think the best thing we can do is take out all these conservative motherfuckers. Can I be explicit on YouTube? Make sure that these conservatives don't have jobs anymore. Get out and vote in November. It's really, really important. The point is, if you are a person who cares about anyone other than yourself and your family, you give a shit about anyone outside of your bubble, you need to get out and vote. I'm friends with someone on Facebook who's a conservative, and I don't know who he voted for, but he'll always come into my, or not always, but sometimes he comes into my comments and will say something defending Trump's actions or whatever, just because he's good for the economy, which I don't agree with, but at the same time I respect this person because he clearly stated, like, he basically told me, stop worrying about these things, you need to worry about your own people, like worry about you and your family. And so him admitting that he doesn't give a fuck about anyone but himself, I respect that, at least, you know. So if you fall under that category where you're like a rich white man and you really don't care about anyone but your people, because you're doing fine with what's happening and you see no repercussions of the misogyny and xenophobia that goes on daily in the US, then, you know, keep doing what you're doing, I guess. But if you're anyone that's outside of that bubble of people, you need to get out and vote. You really, really do. For the future of the country, it's really important. And it's not about, oh, I have a daughter, or I have a sister, or I have a wife, so I care about women's rights. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, how you're connected to women means nothing. Women are human beings, so your connection to a vagina means nothing. The fact is, we are people, and we deserve the right to our bodies, to the consequences of if we want an abortion, if we've been raped. Like, really, these are things in 2018 that we're still talking about. It baffles me. And God, I can't even imagine what it feels like to be a woman in her like 60s and 70s who went through this so many times already, and like I can't even imagine that. But God, it's tiring. It's really tiring to talk to fucking on deaf ears and to just talk to walls, and I just feel like I'm like, for no reason. But this is the only thing I feel like I can do. Make videos and podcasts and hope that someone listens to it and says, you know what? Yeah, okay, maybe she's right, or maybe I can think of it in a different perspective other than my own. I don't know, but that's what I'm here for, I guess. And also, like I said, for my own mental health, it's important for me to get these things out, because if not, they're in my head and they're not safe in there. And they can't really do anything in there other than haunt me daily. So it's time to get it out. So yeah, again, this video, I'm sorry if it's like all over the place. It's typical of my nature to do things like this. But I just had to say it. I just had to really just come on and say fuck you to everyone who's victim blaming women, and really anyone. Men get assaulted too, I get it. But it's not time to talk about men. We talk about men on a daily basis. When women say, or when people say, you know, talk about assault and sexual deviance of any kind and rape and all that, oftentimes the conversation is centered around women, because statistically we get raped more. Those are facts. If you want to ignore facts, that's cool. Have fun living in fantasy land, but those are facts. Just like the Black Lives Matter movement is about black people dying and being murdered on the streets at a higher rate than white people. We're not saying that white people should be killed or that the deaths of white people don't matter. We're saying that statistically, black people are murdered on the street, put in jail for no fucking reason, at a higher rate. That's it. It's not ignoring the rest of the demographics. We're focusing on the big issue. And then maybe we can trickle down and help everyone. But the big issue is women not being believed for shit they say, or not being taken seriously, because I'm sure they believe it. Any man, I'm sure, knows what their friends are capable of. Yeah, I'm gonna stop now because I'm just rambling and going off into tangents, and I really didn't have any outline for this video, which is not a good idea, but the point was to just come on here and talk, and that's what I'm doing. So my videos won't always be like this. I'm gonna start doing more positive content, maybe recipes. I'll probably do more yoga videos as well, maybe some outside workout videos, since I live so close to the ocean now. And yeah, but this is one that I felt was very important to make today, right now, because we're living through fucking hell, and today has been really, really, really rough. I mean, this whole week has been rough, news-wise. This whole year, this whole decade has been horrible news-wise. And it's really, but today I really felt very, very heavy from everything that I'm carrying, and I need to let it out. So I'm gonna stop this video, and I'm also gonna go hug my roommate because I need some hug therapy right now. And yeah, you know, if you guys ever feel hopeless and helpless, know that you're not the only ones, and that this feeling ends at some point. It's not constant, and yeah. I also feel like I have to say that I also have a podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's Sarcasm Radio, and I'm back to putting out episodes almost weekly, and it's getting a little exciting. I'm doing interviews with people, and yeah, I hope you guys start listening to that. And if you have any suggestions for content that you want to see on this YouTube channel on SharTV, let me know. I'd be happy to take any requests. I might even do some skincare routine stuff, because I think it's funny when people who aren't like experts or like influencers and don't have a million followers on Instagram do these videos where they really have no clue what the fuck they're doing, but they're doing it anyway, and that's me, you know? So maybe I'll do a how to not do a cat eye video. That would actually be really good. I'm really good at not doing it well. So yeah. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. subscribe to my channel if you want to keep watching videos like this-ish and more things that will be coming soon. You know, subscribe or not. Leave comments below and let me know what you think about the Kava NAH case. But you know what? All I have to say about him is Kava NAH. Nah, nah, nah. Just like my president, not my president. Sorry. I don't take responsibility for that shit show. Sorry. But anyway, I love you guys. And I'm sorry